Welcome to Ninja Monkey. I'm Nathan. I'm just going to check that the sound is working, that everything is in sync, because we've been having a little bit of bad luck. So, everything seems to be working. I think so, yep. Awesome. So anyway, welcome to Ninja Monkey. I have a special guest here today. My special guest is Sarah. We traveled together to Japan about 2 years ago. And I'm just going to turn down the music. I don't want it to be too loud whilst we're talking. So Sarah will come on now. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Nathan.
How's everybody doing?
All right, I guess, despite the lockdown. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've got 2 kids. I think that's basically important to know during today's stream. My son's about 12 now, and my daughter's just been 7 a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
How old were they when we actually traveled to Japan?
When he was 5, and so Finley must have been not quite 11. He would have been 11 a little bit later. So yeah, he's 10 at the time, say. So 5 and 10, which I thought was like, a good age in a way. I'd been waiting quite a few years to get them to be old enough, not for a bigger trip, rather than just going to London. Previously, we'd just been to London, Disneyland, the usual kind of like trips. Especially because I travel on my own with them. It's important that they're old enough to kind of like pay attention and to actually follow instructions. I mean, I'm lucky. They're quite sensible. They're lively, but they're fairly sensible. Most of the time.
So, actually, I'm going to start reading some of the little comments that we have here. And the first question is, are there any rules of engagement? I guess the first rule of engagement is that there are no rules of engagement. I don't know. I guess the rules of engagement are be patient. This is live. Things can happen. If you see things not working out on your side, maybe you just want to refresh things, refresh the app or refresh your browser. The second thing is that we will be reading the questions as we go along, so there might be a few pauses and sometimes you just have to be a little bit patient, but we will actually be reading the questions and the comments. And we have 8 people. Hello, you 8 people that are out there. So far I can see Owen Smith, Bar.Germ, Sarah, who's also in the chat, and there's a few people that I know that are a little bit shy and might not want to say anything, but it doesn't matter. It's all good. So for those of you who are new, we traveled to Japan. I had actually just come from South Korea. I've been traveling around South Korea for about 2 weeks, a little bit under 2 weeks, and I actually met Sarah and the kids in Narita Airport. Was it Narita or?
Narita, yeah. Yep.
Narita
Not by accident.
Airport.
We'd arranged to do that.
No. Well,
we
actually,
didn't just bump
we'd
into
arranged.
each other.
Well, kind of. We had actually arranged it, but the thing is that my flight into Narita and her flight into Narita coincided by literally 15 or 20 minutes difference. Yeah. So it was pretty perfect timing. I was able to pick them up, although I was in a completely different terminal. I was in I think the domestic terminal or a different terminal, and I had to make my way to find them. And when I got there, I found a Finn with very, very, very blue hair.
Very blue hair.
And I found a very, very excited Navy. And actually a very chilled out mother after a 12-hour flight, I have to say.
Yeah, I need my sleep.
let's actually talk about that little trip, that long trip to Tokyo, because I know that perhaps one of the questions that a lot of parents might have is, long flights, 12 hours, 11 and a half hours, 5-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old. I can't remember, 12, no?
He was 10 at the time. He was 10.
He was 10, that's it. So maybe the question that a lot of people are asking is, what is it like to travel for such a long distance with kids?
Preparation, basically, like anything with kids, really. I think you just need to be prepared. I think they'd had a lot of training in kind of like short haul flights from here to London and back several million times. So they're very, very used to just like getting on the plane, and they know that, you know, they're not going to be moving anywhere.
Yeah.
And they upload their movies. They have their pre-holiday routines where they upload their movies. They pack, you know, their snacks.
So I think I guess because obviously Sarah is a seasoned traveler. No, she travels a lot from Gibraltar. Gibraltar is in the very south tip of the Iberian Peninsula, and to London quite often. I know that happens quite often. And you have a routine set up, so the children already sort of know what to expect for that short trip. So that helps. So perhaps the first thing is, if you are thinking of traveling with kids anywhere, you might want to plan some kind of a routine. No, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, and get them involved in the routine, really, in what they want to be doing during that flight. You know, like my son just wanted, like, you know, movies. He wanted movies. He had it very, very clear that he had like a couple of his games on his iPad, on his phone, and then he just wanted to watch movies. In fact,
actually, we have a few questions. But go ahead. We'll you were saying.
Yeah, and my daughter wanted to color. I mean, her thing was like a new coloring book. So we'd literally packed one bag with pillows and blankets. One, because we checked in some luggage, but then we had a little hand luggage each, and it was one with pillows and blankets, one with all the toys and the iPads and everything, and one with a change of clothes in case our luggage got missing. So and basically for the layover as well, for the layover in London.
A lot of planning, no?
A lot of planning.
Bardock Germs. Okay, Bardock Germ says, "You've never had blue hair, have you, Nathan?" And I have had blue hair. Maybe I'll have to do a sort of like a blast to the past, or looking back at some crazy photos or something like that. But I have had blue hair. I've had
You've had blue hair?
Yeah. Yes, I have blue hair. Owen, you might want to stay for the game show. It's going to come up in a second before you leave.
Yeah, and there
might be a little bit of fun.
There were cats. There were cats right in front of my face a little while ago. If we're not careful, she'll come back. She's giving me the evil eye right now.
We'll talk about something that I also wanted to talk about with you, was luggage, because there's a big difference between myself, you know, traveling on my own to Japan and having my own luggage and sort of being able to like deal with that. Another thing is traveling with so many bags. And we'll talk about that in a moment, but before we do that, we're actually going to play a little game, and I think Sarah knows by now, but she's watched some of my live streams. The game that we're going to play is Flying Ninja Stars, and basically you need to answer the questions as quickly as you can. I'm going to give you two options. You're going to choose one of the two. I try to personalize it to the person, so I know you quite well, I think. So I've added a few things in there, and there's also a little bit of Japan trivia sort of put in there. So hopefully the game will work this time round. Ready? Let's do this.
Do it.
Ninja Stars. And we have a giant Sarah there. It's all good. It's all good. We can fix that. We can fix that. Oh, Sarah. It's all good. You see, I think this is gonna be I think this is gonna be the vein of my live stream, where basically this game never comes out properly. There's always something. It's or an echo or a giant person. There's always something. But hey, Claudio Brando. Do you prefer rural or urban areas of Japan? That's a very good question, which we're going to leave to Sarah in a moment. So if you just hold on a moment, Claudia, we're going to play this game. As I was saying before, we have to basically choose between two answers as quickly as you can. Are you ready? And I've got the questions here on another iPad. Let's see. Ready, set, and Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
McDonald's or Burger King?
McDonald's.
Okay, Hello Kitty or Gudetama?
Oh, Hello Kitty.
Come on. Okay. Tokyo or Kyoto?
Kyoto.
Online shopping or physical shopping?
Online shopping.
Okay. Apple or Microsoft?
Apple.
Temples or museums?
Temples.
Filtered or unfiltered?
Unfiltered.
Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram.
Starbucks or Costa?
Starbucks.
Quickly. Pokemon or Mario?
Sorry, Pokemon
or Mario?
Oh, Pokemon.
Okay, train or bus?
A bus.
Wine or beer?
Wine.
Cat or dogs?
Cats.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
TV shows or movies?
TV shows.
And the last question, Skytree or Tokyo Tower?
Skytree, because it's the only one I went up.
But you saw the Tokyo Tower, no? I guess
I saw it. It was nice, but I went up. I chose not to go up Tokyo Tower, but I did choose to go
Sarah,
up Skytree.
I'm going to make a suggestion, and that is that you take one of your earpods off and put it to charge, because what I found in the past is that one of them will start running out of battery, and you'll have to swap
Oh God!
as the stream
Okay.
goes. Yeah. As
Okay.
the stream goes on. But actually, there was a very good question, I think, by Claudio.
Yep.
Claudio
Claudio.
was saying whether you preferred rural or urban areas of Japan. And I guess, what do you think, Sarah?
I mean, I didn't see that much of Japan. I mean, compared to you, but I would say that I preferred having seen kind of like the huge, busy metropolis of Tokyo that really impresses, everybody. Oh, it's amazing. Really, yeah, it didn't really kind of impress me as much as like Kyoto, and then looking at the temples up on the hill and going up Fushimi Inari, and
I think that for those of you who are viewers in my channel, you'll know what my opinion is. And my opinion is I am an Inaka guy. In other words, I like the countryside. I like the more rural areas of Japan. That's my thing. However, I think that if you ever do sort of go on a trip, you should mix both up. Don't just do one. I always like to do a little bit of city, followed by a little bit of rural, followed by a little bit of city, that sort of thing. But rural is definitely my sort of passion. And now that I've seen so much in Japan, I like to go and see more like off the beaten path places that people don't normally go to. And that's sort of my kind of thing. Cool. We have a few people have answered some of the questions as we were playing that game. Chelsea the cat, Pokemon. Yes.
Of course, Chelsea. What else?
Definitely. Gudetama, me. I have to say Gudetama, 100% Gudetama all the way for me. It has to be. I love Gudetama. In fact, I have a Gudetama pen somewhere around here. Although I do love my Pokemon. have a Pokemon Pokemon pen here. So actually, whoa, awesome. Cool. Let's see. Hello Kitty is not a cat. Fun fact. What is it then, Bardock? What is Hello? Do you know what Hello Kitty is?
Not a cat.
Not
What
a
is
cat,
she?
apparently.
A rabbit?
It's a person, no? A rabbit, an animal. Well, it's an animal, obviously, no?
But she's got
Bardock,
ears and
we need to know,
whiskers.
what is it? What is it? A girl?
Okay.
Okay, it's a girl. we shall. I shall forever. It will be a cat for me. Anyway.
Yeah, me too.
Sarah.
Okay.
I have. I'd like to also talk about the hotel that we stayed in Tokyo, because as a family, I stayed in this case. I had my own room, and Sarah and the kids had their own room. It's obviously a lot cheaper if you share. We did share, I think, twice in the trip.
Yeah. In Kyoto,
mainly
we
because
shared.
I think it's difficult sometimes to find a room with multiple beds in Japan. Or
Very difficult.
Expensive. Very difficult.
Yeah.
So we actually stayed in a hotel called Appa Hotel, and Appa Hotel is actually a chain hotels which I've stayed in many times, and I guess you could sort of compare it with a tiny Premier Inn sort of quality. Would you agree with me?
In terms of size.
Not size,
Oh, I
quality.
mean, like in terms of like no frills. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, it was a huge, building, but like no frills whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, I've got some images there playing, and basically, it's tight.
It was
I think
tiny,
that's pretty
dude.
much-
It was tiny.
Pretty much
Like our
the
room.
type of room that you had, yeah.
Our room was, if you can imagine, it was 3 of us, and it took, as I said, it was quite tricky to actually. I looked at all the hotels, and we're very used to, I think, in Europe at least, booking a hotel where you get a double bed, and then they kind of like add like a tiny kind of like bed for a child on the side. We were talking about a 5-year-old, so it's not like she needed a very big bed.
Because you guys actually stayed, the 3 of you, in the same bed.
Yeah. So in the end, what we found was that in the Appa Hotel, they had like a queen size bed. So that's like a particularly big bed, and you can see it there in the picture. It was pretty wide, and in fact, we could actually just as easily sleep lengthwise and widthwise, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, it still, wasn't, the most comfortable, as comfortable as sleeping in different beds to the kids. And in fact, it was nowhere near as comfortable as sleeping on the futons as we did in Kyoto. I mean, that was just great. And I would actually recommend that if you're going to Japan. Try and aim for a more traditional.
We are going to go into that in a moment as we move along in a chat. But,
those Tokyo, the room in Tokyo was just teeny weeny, absolutely teeny weeny. And you can imagine how much luggage that I had, like basically I brought back a whole bag full of like Pokemon plushies. And when I say a bag full, I don't mean a bag full.
And when she says plushies, she doesn't mean plushies. She means plushies.
Yeah, like huge plushies. Yeah, huge. Like the plushies like were bigger than my daughter. There was like an Eevee bigger than her. It was just incredible. And anyway, so like it was very difficult doing that sorting and packing before we came back.
I mean,
we hardly had
a
space.
little bit older, and if you're a couple with kids and you don't mind like getting 2 rooms, then this hotel, this chain hotel, is very affordable. However, there are some restrictions. I believe in many Japanese hotels, you need to you can only have a child in the bed if they're below a certain age. I can't remember the age. But
I think it's 5. I think details. 5 is that
5 or 6 or something like that. But so look that up. Actually, we did a few things in Tokyo. One of the things that we did in Tokyo was we went to the zoo. we were talking about sort of things that we can do with children, no? So
Yeah.
Tokyo is one of these cities where there's basically anything you can imagine that you want to do with kids, you'll be able to find. We went to Ueno Zoo, and I'm just going to put some images now.
Which is a fantastic zoo.
It was, I had
Whee.
because I stay in that area very often. We stayed in Ueno area actually, and I'd never gone to that zoo, and I had the opportunity to go to that zoo this time round because I was with Sarah and her kids, and I thought, perfect. But I was blown away because the zoo is actually in two parts. There's a mini monorail that connects both parts. You can walk from one side to the other of the zoo, but the monorail just makes it fun. The amount and the selection of animals was just insane.
Yeah.
We saw a European pigeon.
Yes, we did.
In a cage.
Yeah, and a European otter, and we were like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was quite funny.
It's a pigeon.
Jeremy actually says from before that he had 3 beds in the Prince Park Tower Hotel. You can get them.
Yeah.
That hotel is quite fancy though, Jeremy, I have to say. It's nothing like the Apple Hotel. So would you recommend the Ueno Zoo?
Absolutely. I thought it was a really, kind of there was a variety of animals. The enclosures seemed to be, really quite clean. I mean, it's a Japanese zoo. Very clean, very, very kind of like the animals seemed, happy. I mean, one thing that a tip that I will give you is don't queue for like 2 hours for the baby panda. Yeah.
Probably not a baby anymore though.
It's probably not a baby anymore, but literally there was a queue, a 2.5 hour queue to see the baby panda. So I just took my daughter to the gift shop and bought her a baby panda. And because she was 5, she'll probably remember it as we went to Tokyo and saw the baby panda. Yeah,
probably. But yeah, I was impressed with the zoo. Actually, I've been impressed. I spoke about this with Carlos the other day. I'm also very impressed with the aquariums in Japan. We didn't go to any actually this time round. We should have, now coming to think of it.
Yeah.
But aquariums are fantastic. One thing I want to say, if you're watching this, thank you very much for tuning in, and don't forget that you can give this a like. Yeah? Like? No like? Yay! Give it a like, don't forget please. And if you are new to the channel and you've watched this far, then why not subscribe? And like. And if you subscribe, I applaud you. So that was Ueno Zoo. After Ueno Zoo, well, we did this in quite probably, we spent probably 4 days, I would guess 3 or 4 days in Tokyo, if I remember right.
Yeah.
We did also go to Harajuku, remember?
Ah, yeah. Yes.
And
I mean, you have to go to Harajuku, really. Especially if your son's got bright blue hair.
We're back. I hope we're back. We're back, everybody. We're back, everybody. I don't know what happened there. You know what? We've been having some problems with YouTube earlier on.
Is it still loading?
Nope, it's fine. I've just checked mine. Sorry.
Mine's still loading. Maybe I should reboot it.
Refresh. No, mine works for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what we're saying was in Harajuku, what we were talking about before. The feeling is it's a lot of people, a lot of people.
A lot of people.
In Harajuku, it was crazy.
Yeah,
the amount of people.
but still very
it's a
clean
fun
and all.
place.
And yeah, it's very fun and very clean and very, you know, orderly, and you know, you don't get that kind of like feel of you know, people, you know, pushing and jostling and just very, you know, crowded. Very, very crowded, but very fun. You know, it's excellent for kids because everything's so colorful and everything's just so just cartoonish, frankly.
A lot of
you know?
people say that Harajuku is actually the youth capital of the world, and they say that whatever is born in Harajuku will eventually make it to London, like at some point in the next year. That sort of thing.
Yeah, like, you know, I think that it's, you know, it was just excellent. It was
for me, it's about the food personally.
Yeah, but this is it. This is why I thought it was really quite kid friendly, you know, and very attractive to them, because it's like, you know, if I'd let them, they would have had, you know, the candy floss, they would have had the ice cream, they would have had the, what were they, like filled churros, they would have had you know, everything.
It's not the place that it used to be, like many years ago. Now it's incredibly touristy. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. There's a good side to touristy things. It means that it appeals to children, for example, no? But before it used to be very sort of like unique stores. Now there's a lot of branded stores and store, you know, like chain stores, and there's even like McDonald's wasn't there before.
But there was still a lot of unique stores, you know, and that kind of like they had like loads of like unique, you know, like fashion and little clothes shops, and they had like the places selling all the frilly kind of like, you know.
A lot of my t-shirts I actually buy in Harajuku.
Yeah.
I always go to the same store, and I have one t-shirt that I absolutely love that I always end up buying the same t-shirts. In fact, last time I went, I bought two, so that when one sort of got old, I could use the next one. But Harajuku is a place I wanted to go, but didn't have time. Well, you're gonna have to go back.
You're gonna have
it's
to.
Definitely worth, especially if you like crepes.
Yep.
Because there are the Harajuku crepes, and those donut things, long donut things, are just seriously it's just like sugar rush, diabetes is, you know, there's Neve about to scoff down that huge very famous candy floss, cotton candy thingy. It's absolute. Look at her. She looks as excited as I was feeling, to be honest. It's bigger than her. Look, you can't even see her. Look at her.
And she loved it because it was like rainbow colors.
Yeah, you could choose the flavors, remember?
Yeah.
And depending on the price, depending on the flavor.
Yeah.
Wait, because I think that now we go outside and she has the cotton candy, and it's so huge. Look at her.
She picked it up, and then we had to help her because
she was losing her balance.
Over. Yeah, it was too big.
Actually, my favorite flavor in that candy floss was grape.
Yeah, the purple one.
I remember specifically because
Japanese grape, which is very different to different, you know, grape flavor.
It's a very special flavor.
Japanese
of
grape.
Do you guys have any like flavors of Japanese flavors that you can think of? Because Japanese grape flavor is definitely...
Oh, hey, look. We have James in the house. Yo!
Hey James, how are you? But I had the crepes in the Tokyo Tower, and they were made, seriously, crepes are great anyway. Look, this is for James. But yeah, also, as we were saying about things to do in Tokyo, in Harajuku is it's a very lively place, no? And there's lots of different cafes, and one of the things is the Monster Kawaii Cafe, which I'm gonna go on to right now. And the Monster Kawaii Cafe, you describe it, Sarah, because you know
it it was I mean, you walk in and it's obvious that it's at some point in time it kind of was a nightclub. There's something quite nightclubby, isn't it, about it, really? You know, it reminds me of some of the nightclubs when you know, way back in the 90s. However, it's just so colourful and candy, and it's, you know, just very attractive to kids. Again, it's almost like that fairground kind of, like, you know, psychedelic kind of like thing. And as you can see, you know, from the video, the waitresses are all dressed up and, you know, very kid friendly, even though you see that they're like, you know,
very kid friendly and also very male friendly, I have to say.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, like it was just, you know, incredible, because it was a feast to the eyes, really.
Hey, we've got 10 people. Awesome. Keep it going. Yeah.
And we, you know, like, just everything, again, very colourful, very avant-garde, very.
And we have Andy Stubbs in the house. He says, "Good morning, good evening, and good night." Andy, have you ever are you in the Truman Show by any chance? And have you ever visited the Kawaii Monster Cafe in Harajuku? We're talking about it, how colourful, how wacky, how crazy it is. And what about the food, Sarah?
Well, the food, I mean, the portions were quite big, I thought, because they had these set menu things.
Expensive.
And expensive, you know.
Very expensive.
But like,
once, it's the kind of thing that you're going to go once for a special occasion.
You know, you don't go there, you know, when you go to a themed cafe like that, if you know you're going to pay a premium. And the fact that the food was actually nice. Yeah.
The fact that the food was nice. Really good.
Yeah, it was like an absolute bonus. But it's just, I thought that it looked
didn't look the way it looked.
No.
Like, it didn't taste the way it looked.
No,
it tasted better than the way it looked.
Yeah, you think that it would be all kind of like color and no flavor, but actually it was quite nice. We actually went a little bit nuts, and we tasted all the desserts at the end as well.
We did.
Yeah.
I have some footage. I think it'll be appearing in a moment.
Yeah.
Once Neve calms down.
I mean, she went completely nuts.
Yeah, the whole place is basically a sort of crazy indoor fairground in the theme of a cute monster kawaii sort of thing. The amount of detail, there's different areas. Remember, there was like a checkered area, there was like a light area, there was like a Alice in Wonderland area.
Yeah.
And we were sitting in the Alice in Wonderland area.
Yeah, we were. Yeah. And there was one that looked like it was almost like a you could say like a tea room or something. I see, very.
Oh, like that. Like well, we could see that there now. I think that's where we were, in the tea room area. We were sitting at the end over there. Jolta, gonna have to tag along next time you go if it happens. What happens when she has too much sugar? Well, what happens when you have too much sugar, Jolta 1000? What happens when you have too much sugar, I wonder?
Yep. But, you know, she's always having too much sugar.
There was a show also, wasn't there?
Yeah. The show, they did a little show.
Yeah. And to participate in the show, you had to buy lolly.
Yep.
And if you participated with there's the food. So those were like colorful. It was spaghetti, but it was in a theme of a painter's palette.
Yeah, it was a beautiful kind of palette.
Jeremy would have liked that. Yeah, and it had 3 different flavors. I remember one of them being alioli, like garlicky, if I remember right.
The sauces,
and it was really strange because I think the blue one was the alioli one, and it just didn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. It was just.
No,
strange.
They weren't gummy worm noodles. Neve wishes they were gummy worm noodles, James. Really, but no, it was just
amazing pasta. Definitely, Bardok germs. Definitely amazing pasta.
Yeah, it was all really nice. It really was.
What was that one? Whose food was that? Was that yours?
Yeah, I think so. Because that was kind of like a.
I got the burger. My burger was epic.
And Finley had the burger, no, as well.
And Finley might have had the burger also.
That one, was that one Finn's? No, that was mine.
That's yours.
Yeah, that was mine. Yeah, and I didn't know what the little balls were, and I thought they were
The
bit suspect. But yeah,
but the
no, mine
burger
was
was
like some sort of what do you call it? I don't remember. I don't know, like some sort of rice thing
it was like
and
bolognese, no, or something.
yeah. But you see, it had some Neve's noodles at the bottom as well.
Oh, that's my
No,
burger. Now,
oh
my
the burger.
burger was amazing because it looks disgusting, but it tasted incredible.
Yeah,
Basically, in the it was a flying saucer burger. As you can see, I'm really enjoying it there. The flying saucer burger basically had a tortilla, crispy tortilla in the middle of it to make it look like a burger. It was really like a flying saucer. Sorry. Japan can be a bit weird, and that's why we love it.
yep.
Yeah, it can be weird, but at the same time, it's weird, but in a normal sort of way. It's not weird in a I'm scared something's gonna happen to me. It's weird in a it's cool weird sort of thing.
Yeah.
And as I was saying before, the lolly, you can switch it on, and it has a light. You see that? And you would sort of like everybody would buy a lolly, and if you did get a lolly, then you could participate in the sort of show.
You could get on stage. You could get on the revolving birthday cake thing in the middle with the girls with the colourful hair. So
And then apart from that, we went to a conveyor belt sushi place. Do you remember?
Yeah. And which was again another, it's just so kind of like it's a game, it's mechanics, it's something new, and Finley had loads of fun looking and trying to order everything on the menu with the iPad, so it would keep zooming in on the little conveyor belt.
This place, basically you have an iPad, you order the food from the iPad, and then the food will come on a little train to you, basically.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then at the end, you get a chance also. Sometimes you're chosen like to play a game, to like a bingo sort of thing, to win things, no? Which was pretty sweet. And I can't remember actually if he won anything in that instance. But actually, that restaurant I recommend. It's actually in Shinjuku. No, it's in Shibuya, and it's called Genki Sushi. So I think that for remembering a yay, and for remembering a like, please, because it's called Genki Sushi, and it's a recommendation. Yep. It's become rather touristy, but it's definitely fun. Something fun to do. We were actually in Tokyo, and what happened was we were going to go from Tokyo to Kyoto, but a typhoon came and we had to leave Tokyo a day early. Do you remember? Yep,
we did. Yep. The guy in the train station, actually, because we were going to book the Shinkansen, and the guy in the train station actually took out like a little map, a little weather map, where he was showing us that it was going to hit us, and that basically, by the following day at 5:00, absolutely there were going to be no trains running, and forget about it. We wouldn't be able to leave for Kyoto. So we did the only thing we could have done.
We had to make a decision, and it was either stay stuck in Tokyo without a hotel room, because we were going to run out of a hotel room, and not be able to make it potentially to Kyoto. So we went on booking.com very quickly, and we found a hotel room that was reasonably priced.
Yeah.
And we left to basically very quickly packed, I remember. Literally, Sarah, we need to pack, we need to get out of here as soon as possible. And we were very lucky, because people don't realize actually that Japan is quite big, which means that what's happening, the weather in Tokyo is not the weather in Kyoto, no?
At all.
It's probably like the difference between the north of Spain and the south of Spain, sort of thing. But the hotel we found was a real surprise, wasn't it?
It was amazing. It was such a nice hotel. Really, really nice.
Potentially be one of the best hotels that we stayed in. It was like super trendy, modern, I would say.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it had a traditional, like a modern traditional.
Yeah, it had a traditional feel to it. Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, and for like, you know, our first experience of going into like the onsens and stuff, it was just like the bomb, you know, because it was.
That's basically our hotel room.
Yeah.
It had
so nice.
Pokestop on top of it, probably like 3 or something, or 4 or something like that.
Yeah, like 5, like for sure.
Have we been to the robot restaurant? I have been to the robot restaurant. Would I recommend it? If you have time, it's expensive. It's a tourist trap. It's fun though. It is fun, and kids would love it for sure. But it's expensive, and we didn't have time in this case. But that was another hotel that we stayed in.
Yeah.
But what I want to go back to that hotel that we
that first one was like it was just lovely. It was really, really nice because it was modern.
It had the traditional area.
Yeah.
It had like a public bath, which was fantastic. It was modern, and it was next to the train station. I'll put all the information, by the way, on the description at some point. I'll just make a little note so I don't forget with my Pikachu pencil or pen. Hotel info. And then we stayed in this ryokan, which was actually recommended by my Japanese teacher in Kyoto. It was actually really beautiful. I think the hotel, it was old though. It wasn't modern. It was quite an old hotel.
But old doesn't mean dirty in Japan.
Not
it's
dirty,
just,
but old.
You know, like basically the furnishings were a little bit more.
Pretty much like that, actually.
Yeah.
Not like that. That was the first hotel. I'm going to take that one off now. But
that was the first hotel.
Yeah.
But then there was a picture of the other one. No.
Yeah, now it's Kama. But our room was very similar to that, and basically what happens is that you need to, when you stay in these traditional hotels, ryokans, you need to sort of, when you go to have your dinner, they will make up your bed for you. Yeah. So that's what would happen. We would perhaps go into the onsen, going into the hot bath or whatever, and when we would come back, they would actually have done our bed. In one occasion, we went a little bit too early, and the guy was in there making our bed, and he was really, really like embarrassed.
Yeah, apologetic, like the
apologetic,
Japanese. Yeah. But it was great for you know, sleeping there with the kids. It was absolutely brilliant, because if you know you travel with kids, there's always like the argument of who's going to share the bed with mommy, who's going to, you know, sleep where, this and the other. It really wasn't an issue, because, you know, they were both able to sleep, you know, either side of me, and
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they were both able to sleep either side of me, you know. If
I have a question here, which is Chelsea the cat says, do you watch any anime?
Do I watch anime? Not a lot of anime. No, I must say I'm not like what about you, Nathan?
I am an
you
anime
like your
fan.
anime. Yeah,
I like my anime,
like
although I feel that I'm not really into anime series, because I don't have the time to commit to watching anime series, and anime series sort of, they go on for forever seriously, like hundreds and hundreds of episodes sometimes, and I just can't commit to that. But I do like my movies, and as probably if you're a viewer of this channel, then if you are a viewer of the channel, I applaud you. But if you're a viewer of the channel, you probably know that my favorite anime is Kimi no Na wa Your Name, and if you haven't watched that movie, then
Yeah.
you need to go and watch it after the stream or download it or whatever and watch it in the future. I've also made a video about the real life locations of Kimi no Nawa, Your Name. It's very beautifully animated movie, so I totally recommend it. In fact, I think that probably on Friday I'm going to be doing a live stream, most likely with Jeremy, and I'm sure that we'll be touching on those issues, the issues of anime and manga, because Jeremy is actually his degree is animation, and he's a
Wow.
great illustrator, a great artist, and I'm sure we can talk about those things here, Jeremy, like to. So you can tune into that one. The next one will be with Jeremy, most likely, and you can tune in and we'll talk about all that kind of thing. Yeah, sounds like fun. Sounds like your kind of thing. Your Name is incredible, and if you haven't already, Claudio, then please check out the Your Name comparison video that I did make, because it was loads of fun. I met a YouTuber, Greg, from the channel Life Where I'm From, and I basically tagged along with him and traveled around Tokyo for the whole day, and we became really good friends. Actually, I've met up with him. I meet up with him nearly every time I go to Japan. I've met his family, I've gone to his house. Really cool guy. Check out his channel if you haven't already, although you probably have. He's got 1.something million subscribers, so he's a big YouTuber, and he's doing really well, and he deserves it because he's a really cool guy. But Kyoto hotels, definitely worth it. I am actually in the middle of editing a Japan hotels video, where basically I've been taking footage of all the hotels that I've stayed in the last few trips, and if you're interested in that kind of thing, you might want to check that one out. But we also what did we do in Kyoto?
In Kyoto, well, we went up to the temple up
Actually,
on the hill, not the gardens.
There we go.
And
So-
yeah, and that was kind of like, you know,
Temples
fantastic.
and children, are they a good mix?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think the I managed to be, you know, to teach them kind of like the etiquette of going into temples, and I think that they really embraced the kind of like routines and rituals, the traditional routines and rituals that Nathan taught them. Do you think? And I think they really enjoyed that. They really enjoyed the going into the temple and you know, ringing the bell and all of those bits, you know, and the
I think
you know,
you can make. I mean, if you gotta make it educational at the same time, no? Like traveling with kids.
absolutely.
Not only has it got to be fun, but I think it's important that you do teach them a little bit about the culture, educate them on things,
and the history and
the history, exactly. And I remember actually that we went to a museum of what was the name of that artist? The art museum.
oh god, I forgot her name now.
Oh my goodness. For those of you who
The
are
pumpkin, the old lady with the big glasses.
the lady that makes
pumpkins.
like dot paintings.
Oh,
Can somebody search that up for me? The lady that basically paints with dots with like.
I'm gonna have to search this. Her.
Maybe I can search on this one.
I've
Are you on
forgotten
your
her name.
computer there? Can you search on there?
Yeah. Oh no, I've lost it again.
But yeah, this woman is incredible. She is absolutely incredible. And we went to, maybe do I have any oh, but basically what I was saying was that we went to this museum, and they were
Yayoi Kusama. Yayoi
Yayoi
Kusama.
Kusama. And basically the funny thing is that we went to this museum and I was petrified because, I mean, we're talking about a 5-year-old Neve. Neve now, she's 7, and she is a little bit of a handful. Like, she likes to touch things and stuff. So imagine Neve when she was 5.
She's got an inquisitive mind.
Very inquisitive mind. And basically we had to talk to her and sort of say, you can't, you know, like touch things, you gotta hold back.
And the worst thing is, that if like a very typical Gibraltarian little girl who during the months of June, July, August and September, if you're barefoot and there's an open space, you do cartwheels, right? That's what you do. Yeah. And we entered this museum and it was just huge open space of tatami mats. And we were barefoot because, of course, when you're indoors in Japan, you're barefoot. And it was just like such a struggle to stop her from just doing cartwheels and somersaults.
And she was actually interviewed, and I'm actually going to put you on the main screen. Well, you can talk a little bit. I'm going to get myself a drink. I'm going to get myself a beer whilst you do that.
Okay.
But yeah.
You
could talk.
It works out okay. It would make it sound like it's going to be a complete nightmare, and actually, a lot of what happens with when you take children to these places, the reason why it's stressful, it's all in the adults' minds, really, because if the kids, you give them the instructions, and the kids are going to be kids, and I think most people are quite understanding. But we went into here, and again, very kind of shiny. She made all these pumpkin, paintings. Yayoi Kusama, beautiful pumpkin paintings, and there was a huge pumpkin sculpture outside, and the kids absolutely loved it. There were mirrors. It was, and I read all the little descriptions, for them, this and the other. And even though it seemed like they weren't really taking it in the way that me and Nathan were taking it in, and it was a real privilege, don't get me wrong, to actually be able to see that exhibition. I think she's got an exhibition now, May time, in London, just in case you're interested in Yayoi Kusama. At the end, we were just kind of just having 5 minutes of quiet, and the kids said, "Oh, we're going to sit here and overlook and meditate, looking over the garden." And we were like, yeah, whatever. Well, we sat down, and suddenly a Japanese film crew come in and ask whether they can interview us, which is just, oh my God, what are they going to say?
And the thing is that Neve is the kind of I was very impressed by your children with the whole interview thing.
This was it. They seemed to have taken it on, and Neve had managed to get a flavour of what it was that the painter had been trying to express in all of them. It was actually, I recorded, and I was listening back on it, later on, and I thought, oh my God, she really had been spot on.
Seriously, the answers were very succinct answers, actually. And she didn't ramble, which she'd taken in this museum and she'd actually learned something, and then when she was put on the spot, basically they were very well behaved in the museum, but when they were in front of that camera crew, they were like little angels. They were like
I mean, to be honest, the film crew had been following us around the museum. They had, and we kept on going shut up, be quiet, act like Japanese children. Japanese children wouldn't do that, because the impression is that Japanese children, for whatever reason, they always look beautifully, well behaved. They don't, they're not loud. They're not. It's almost like somewhere along the line they get the memo that you don't run around, and don't run around. Japanese children wouldn't do that. And then actually they acted like Japanese children for the interview, which was hilarious, because it's they weren't related to me.
No, they were very well behaved actually.
Yeah.
I think there's it's all about the place and where they are, the time and the moment, and they did really well. I'm gonna put some more little images of Kyoto.
Yeah.
Let's see what I have here. I should have labeled these. Oh, so obviously we were talking before about what it's like to go to like temples and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the kids enjoyed it. The kids really did enjoy it.
They really did. Yeah. I mean, that was climbing up Fushimi Inari, and I mean, I that was just, it was just beautiful, you know. And in terms of like the nature, the kids were really taking on the fact that we were walking through this really very humid forest, you know. And oh look, yeah, and that's the temple. I mean, they loved that, you know. We told them the story of why you know,
there's
they could
little quirks for that, like
yeah, it was like that huge Buddha, but that kind of like, you know, kind of pillar thing with the hole, you know, where they can, you know, they could go through. We told them the little story, and at first Neve didn't want to go through, but then she was like, I'm gonna do it again, because she absolutely loved it, you know. It was just great. Absolutely. Yeah.
gonna throw tantrums and all sorts of things.
We're gonna be tired.
And I'm gonna say a little story, and it was basically we were in Kyoto, and Neve was 5. It was hot. She wanted to buy something. She'd probably bought a million things, and there was a point where Sarah basically said, "No, I bought you everything. You can't buy this thing." And she had a little bit of a mini tantrum, you know, in a very quiet Japanese store. You know, that sort of thing. So those things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, oh my god, like everybody's looking at us.
Yeah. And it was hot and it was humid.
As we started walking, but as we started walking, it was as if God himself had put this sort of Hello Kitty cafe for us. Remember?
Yep. Yeah.
And basically, this Hello Kitty cafe appeared.
Yep. It was amazing. I mean, to see, it's just that in a way as well, because we'd been walking around and it was hot and it was humid, and we were not a little bit, but very hangry at that point. And I think it was just, and maybe slightly jet lagged. And this Hello Kitty cafe just turned up in the middle of like these crookedy little Kyoto kind of like lanes, and the last place you would expect to see something which is, you know, almost quite commercialized, really.
There it is, a Hello Kitty cafe. Look at the Hello Kitty,
and
in its own little.
If you look at it, it was so kind of traditional. It was Hello Kitty, but you know, it had the little shrine bit. It had kind of a traditional Japanese garden, but with Hello Kitty. And
yeah, I mean, that literally saved the day, because
absolutely saved the day.
I swear to you that after the Hello Kitty cafe, it was a different experience.
Yeah. That's why we were able to go up Fushimi Inari, I think. But it was great. Yeah. And again, the food in the Hello Kitty cafe was just
Sarah, Andy Stubb says
on point.
Japan summer can be so
hot and humid. Honestly.
Actually, that is... Hey, Yambo! Yambo's in the house. He was in the chat the other time. Nice to see you. Yambo, we were talking... Andy just said how hot. And I can tell you that every single time that I travel to Japan with somebody and I warn them of how hot Japan's going to be, they don't believe me
It's awful.
because Gibraltar is a hot and humid place in the summer.
Yeah,
also.
but this was just on steroids, you know. I think for me, like the bit where it like literally smacked me in the face was when Nathan said the hotel's just round the corner, right? And I'm lugging, like I just got off a flight basically, and I'm lugging this huge suitcase, all the way across to get to the hotel. And I thought, oh my flipping God, I'm gonna pass out.
And then I say to her, actually, I made a mistake. We're walking in the wrong direction.
I mean, it was like, So, just make sure you're going there. I mean, and this was with Google Maps, so I don't really get why that happened. But very humid.
I was trying to show off how well I know Tokyo, and I decided not to look at Google Maps. And
you see, and Badajan says Nathan's round the corner is very deceiving. He didn't say anything about Wales. I mean, it was terrible, dude. But Wales, I mean, dude, but this was like 40 degrees, you know, and like 120% humidity.
120%. It's incredibly hot. Although
it's like
the saving grace of Japan is that they have incredible air conditioning. So you could survive. You could survive.
Indoors it's not a problem, and I think that you know, in terms of like traveling,
it's about finding the shortcuts. From air conditioning to air conditioning.
And
even if it means like going from A to B, and actually not going from A to B, but from A to B, but stopping in a convenience store along the way just to get a little bit of air conditioning, right? It's
and you know, and that's somewhere where kind of like, you know, like Nathan and I had planned, you know, my 2 weeks there, and you know, Nathan, where was it that you said recently? In the last chat, because you just want to go out and see everything, and I was like, dude, with kids, I'm not entirely sure we're gonna be able to like do that. I couldn't get them going like early in the morning, and in terms of like going anywhere, it's almost like you have to plan to have like, you know, a break. It could be like a snack break, or it could be somewhere where they can run around, and you know, and sometimes it's a case of just sitting there and they're just kind of like, you know, chucking, you know, pebbles in the pond or whatever. But like,
I mean, one thing I think that one of the biggest tips that I would say for anybody traveling with kids, from my experience when I actually traveled with Sarah and the kids, is that you need to adjust a little bit for the timings of things in Japan, because everything is so much earlier in Japan. Even lunch is earlier, dinner is earlier, restaurants start to close. And here in Gibraltar and in the south of Spain, very Mediterranean, everything is, especially in the summer. In the summer, I might not eat till 9:30. Might not eat till 10 or 10:30 in the evening. But in Japan, really, you need to be in a restaurant before 7 p.m. or else things start shutting down and you might not be able to find a place to eat. So definitely you need to try and sort that out if you're traveling with kids, especially, because that could happen.
Yeah, and it's, you know, I mean, like I'm and that's the other thing, that, you know, in terms of like trying to maintain, you know, a routine, not to get them winding down at the end of the evening, especially with like jet lag. You know, I tried my very, very best to kind of like get them to pull through.
You did very well.
The jet lag.
I mean, their routine. I could tell you their routine. Their routine was basically just we'd planned our day. We did our day. We would not always, but we would sometimes go back to the hotel and have a rest. We spent a lot of time at some point on the day in a Starbucks or some sort of cafeteria, having a cold drink or whatever. Yeah. But then on the way back to the hotel, Sarah would go into a Lawson or into a 7-Eleven or Family Mart to buy milk because she'd actually brought with her a half a suitcase of chocolate powder.
Colacao.
Colacao. so that basically she could feed her children colacao, which is like a amazing chocolate drink, powdered drink. What makes it even more amazing is that the milk in Japan is
it's amazing
on steroids.
yeah, I mean, like, the milk is just like amazing. It's not even, I wouldn't even call it fatty creamy.
It's just, I would just buy it for me.
Oh my god, it was just amazing, you know. And with this great big kind of like a kilo or something of colacao that I came, not a kilo, but maybe no, half a kilo of colacao that I took in a big like sack, as if I were carrying.
I mean, I think that's another pro tip. You know, you're going to a foreign country. You're going to a country. The pro tip isn't to take colacao. The pro tip is that if you're going to another country where your kid's favorite snack might not be available, take it with you because it's something that might save the day. You know, when your child wants their routine at home is to have this chocolate drink at night, then try to keep to the same routine. I would think. I mean,
routine, and the fact that you're actually like filling their tummies, so they're less likely to get hangry, even when, you know, there aren't any chicken nuggets.
What was the food situation, do you think, like for traveling with children? Actually, before you do that, there's a few questions here because somebody asked if there's like Mario Kart on the streets, where you can wear costumes. Actually, it's a very interesting thing about that. Yes, the answer is yes. However, they've been sued by Nintendo in the last few months, so they've had to like take away all the branding of Mario Kart. It still exists, but in a different way to what what we saw, what we've seen. Yeah.
How sad, because it was amazing. It was really, really amazing. You'd see them. We saw them several times, you know, when we were crossing into Takashita Street and in Harajuku.
Zoom past it.
Yeah, and it was just wow. Like the vibe, and everybody would be like waving at them, and the people would be waving at you, and it was.
I mean, I think the Mario Kart thingy has become a big tourist thing. Itself.
Yeah.
Guys, don't forget that if you're new to the channel, to subscribe. And if you do subscribe, then I will be incredibly happy with a big yay. And if you haven't already, then please like the video somewhere over there. I don't know. Because liking the video tells the YouTube algorithm that you've liked the video. Obviously, right? But yeah, I think another big thing, because myself and Sarah and the kids are Pokemon fans, and there's a story here. I had planned, because to go to the Pokemon cafe. Hey, let me get my. Okay, I'm gonna get my. Oh look, I've got the husband of your Pikachu.
Hiya.
It's like the male Japanese sort of Pikachu thingy.
It's proper girl Pikachu.
But to go to the Pokemon cafe in Japan, you need to book in advance. So I literally booked this 2 months in advance. However, maybe a little bit of jet lag, or also mainly it wasn't so much jet lag. It was mainly because the Japanese, they do the dates like the Americans, where they put the day after the month. So they say the month and then the day. So I read it the wrong way around, and we ended up going to the Pokemon Center, to the Pokemon Cafe, when we thought we had an appointment, and actually it was the day before or something like that. And we missed the appointment.
It was, well, I mean, we noticed in the afternoon. We got there basically we got there 45 minutes late.
Bye, Stubbs. Take care. Yeah, we arrived late, and I think I nearly cried.
And And I was like, chill, it's fine. The kids don't know
worry.
about it. It's fine.
But I was like, but in my heart, I was like, oh, I have, like spoilt this experience that I had for the kids. I've let them down. This one job that I had, which was to book the Pokemon Cafe. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But we made it.
We did make it. We did make it. And actually, what did you think of the Pokemon Cafe?
Yeah, I thought it was everything that I wanted it to be. Really, there were big Pikachus.
This one, I dedicate this to James, who's in the chat. The Pokemon Cafe.
Yeah, it's next to I would say one of the nicest of the Pokemon stores. I quite like that one. Yeah, and all right, okay. Well, the all the food is themed like like any other like themed cafe. Again, the food was nice. It was all right. Not as nice as Monster, I thought, me personally, but it was kind of like basic food. Quite traditional, kind of like family restaurant Japanese food. The little the little
expensive
curry burger, expensive. You could buy again. So they milk you for money. You can buy the plate, the mug.
Yeah, actually, I bought the plate. I bought the mug.
I took 2 mugs and a plate.
I got a little tray. I got a tray. Sort of in the shape of a Pikachu. Yeah,
well, you call it a tray, Neve calls it a plate. That's where she eats her dinner. So we've got.
Does she actually eat her dinner on that
she
plate?
actually eats her dinner on that plate. Yeah. She really likes it when
Jolter 1000. I need it.
Yeah. Well.
Yay! To Jolter. A little bit of a giggle for that. But I actually have to go now, so everyone have a nice day. Thank you very much, XPLR person, for joining in, and see you in the next one. So yeah, the Pokemon Cafe, lots of fun. The giant Pikachus walking around. It's not just fun for the children. I've done a video on this by myself. I went to this cafe by myself once before. And it was definitely worth it, in my opinion. I really enjoyed the Pokemon Cafe.
Yeah.
Even the food wasn't probably as nice as the Kawaii Monster
No,
Cafe.
I was saying
the food was much better. However,
it was all right.
It's fun. Still fun.
It was all right. It wasn't like, oh my god, I can't believe I can't. I've spent this money and I can't even eat it. No, it was nice. It was nice enough food. And I thought, it was also quite nice, I think, about the cities in Japan for kids coming from
Hey, John Redman.
is that the Pikachu or whatever, the Pikachu wasn't speaking, but the people there, they speak to the kids in English, which is oh my god,
they tried there. I mean, that is like gold dust in Japan.
Yeah. Yeah, we all got coasters. See, I don't know. You got that. Yeah. You got that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, microphone going again. Yeah, that was Nathan's milkshake. They kind of like bring, because it's. I think that's quite like a thing that they do in Japan. In fact, a lot like the maid cafes. I don't think we've spoken about the maid cafes, but they come and they prepare, the milkshake or the coffee or whatever. In front
I
of
think
you.
the connection of my microphone is. I think overall this stream has gone very smoothly. Very smoothly compared to the last two. I am learning. Obviously, I need to get a new mic. Probably is is what I'm learning from this experience. But definitely the Pokemon Cafe. If you want to go to the Pokemon Cafe, you need to book in advance. We were very lucky because basically I started begging. And I think the woman saw my face that I was about to cry and probably wasn't used to seeing an adult man ready to cry. And they basically said to us, we can't promise anything, but you can come in the morning, tomorrow morning, before we open, and if there's any cancellations, you can have one of the slots. And that's basically what we did.
We got in.
And we were
straight
very,
in.
very lucky,
So. Yeah. That was actually like breakfast, brunch that we had there. Yeah.
Look at me.
I was saying, look, Jalta says, I know about maid cafes. Thank you, video games. And because we actually went to the maid cafes as well. Yeah,
but the maid cafes, they're not like some people think that they're sleazy, and some people think I'm not gonna go to a maid cafe, etc. In fact, perhaps I might have had to convince Sarah a little bit at the beginning, but really, 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 they are not sleazy at all. I don't think so, anyway.
No, not at all. It's the typical kind of like saccharine, cutesy, kind of like Japanese, girly.
Somebody once described it as the modern day geisha.
Yeah, that's precisely what it is. It's precisely that. It's that kind of like modern day geisha, but like
modern day geisha, yeah.
Yeah, like totally like that. That kind of like I'm here to entertain you and to serve you.
I think my mic is back, but I'm gonna check. Carry on talking.
Let us know if you can't hear Nathan because he's checking his mic again. So. It's fine. Okay. The maid cafe was fine. I mean, we went up there. They were not surprised to see us. It's like they at all. We came in. We sat down with the kids, and the kids loved it because they called they call you sir. What did they call you, sir? And then Neve was called like my princess.
The kids are going to like, yeah, that's right. The kids are gonna love it. I mean,
no. Again? Mike, go on again. Well, I can talk again. He's gonna change his microphone anyway. No, I thought the maid cafe was fine, and it was like like for the kids, it was just like absolutely excellent. You can pay for like extras, not dodgy, but like stuff like photographs for a song. There's particular kind of like meals that they come and they prepare in front of you, and they ask you what kind of a picture to kind of draw on your coffee. You can have a bear. I mean, they bring a catalogue of pictures that you can have drawn with syrup on your coffee. It was just like out of this world. And then you kind of go up on stage or whatever, and you sing a little song. She sings a little song for you, and you choose bunny ears, and you pose with the one of the girls, one of the maids, and you get a photograph of you. They even teach you how to do the cutesy Japanese kawaii and all the stuff for the pictures. It's great. It's brilliant. His microphone's still dead, guys. Still dead. Yeah.
It's back. It's back.
Oh,
Excuse me. Basically, I think I've got the cable that connects the microphone is very sensitive, so I'm going to try and not touch the cable, and hopefully things will be fine. Somebody asked earlier on, John Redman asked, how are the prices for traveling with kids? What do you think, Sarah? You were the one that paid for your kids. I did not pay for your kids.
Absolutely fantastic question, because I can tell you I was so impressed with what I paid that it's ingrained in my mind. Yeah. Flights, and this is August. Yeah.
Book in advance, though. Book in advance. It was in advance.
It wasn't that far in advance. So when I booked Nathan, I must have booked what, like February? Something like that.
Yeah, but February for the end of July, August is quite in advance, really.
For August. And it cost me and both my children to fly Gibraltar to Tokyo, British Airways. It cost me just under £2,300.
For 3 of you?
For the 3 of us.
And that's Gibraltar, London.
Gibraltar, London, Tokyo.
London, Gibraltar.
Yeah. So I thought that was a bargain. And then it probably cost me another maybe £700 in hotels. But again, as we mentioned before, you know, I was sharing this kind of like room with the kids. So I think I managed to spare myself a little bit of money there.
I can say a little bit about what it's like in terms of hotels. Basically, it all depends on what you want. If you want like a business style hotel, which is it's going to be a lot cheaper. I usually find hotels for under £50 a night. That's what I try to find. However, if you're going to Japan for the very first time, you might want a hotel that's just a little bit better. And it's going to be a little bit more expensive. It just depends what your priorities are. I usually find a hotel that's near a train station that is on the Yamamoto line, which is the loop line that goes around Tokyo, because if you can be in a hotel near that station, then it means that you can get onto the Yamamoto line very easily. So it can be as cheap or as expensive as you want it to be, basically. I think that is the main thing. Planning, if you go on booking.com or similar websites, you can basically book with cancellation and keep on looking. You might find a better hotel and cancel that hotel, and so on.
We cancelled a lot of hotels, didn't we, Nathan? Because
there was
basically
quite
had
like 3 different
ideas, kind of like planning.
Yeah. We would meet up and we were like, oh, I found this hotel, book it. Oh, I found this. At one point, I think we had like 5 hotels at the same time going.
It was just like stupid. There were like 18 bookings for like a 3-day period or something like crazy like that. But anyway, because we booked in advance, we just cancelled the ones we didn't need, and then off we went. Really, I mean, like the in terms of travel as well, there was the what was it called, Nathan? The train pass. The JR pass that Nathan very wisely told me about.
Very wisely, yeah. Actually, Sarah, regarding the JR pass, I think a very important thing if you're traveling with children is that there is a cut-off date before your child is no longer considered a child.
Sorry, I missed what you said there.
I said that basically, as a parent, there's a cut-off date.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and 5-year-olds, anybody under the age of 5, or no, anybody over the age of 5 starts paying a child's fare, because age of 5.
She got it for free. She didn't have to pay.
But this is what I'm saying, that 5 and under, they're considered toddlers. Yeah, toddlers. So Yeah, it was, good. I mean, when you're on like the transport in Tokyo, the regional and the kind of like city trains and that, obviously you go in, you stand, you seat, whatever, and it's fine that she's for free. When we went on the Shinkansen, obviously she didn't get a seat. Yeah, she had to sit on our laps.
Yeah. However, pro tip: if there is a seat, she can sit on it unless somebody comes and needs a seat. So it's not like she needs to. And actually, if you're traveling like we were traveling, those seats will be, or he needs to be on your lap all the time. They're quite wide, so we could actually all sit quite comfortably.
Yeah. I was able to easily sit kind of like three in a row. Me and Even and Finn. Me in the middle, obviously, so they don't pick up. But kind of like, invariably they'd both fall asleep on me, and we were fine.
Yeah.
We were absolutely fine.
The JR Pass, there's actually a tool. If you go on search for the JR Pass, there's a tool where you can actually figure out whether it's worth getting the JR Pass or not. But in my experience, usually from just using it from Tokyo to Kyoto return usually is gonna cover most of the cost of the JR Pass. So definitely something to look into. And we also went to Nara.
We did. I loved Nara. It was one of my requests.
It was one of our requests.
Yeah.
I like Nara too, actually.
Yeah.
However, tell us about that scene there.
That was just the scene of the whole holiday. I was like so looking forward to going to see these deer, which just look at them, and in a minute you'll see me flinch. Watch that deer on the side. Anyway, I was so looking forward to seeing these deer, which Nathan had said to me, oh, they're so polite, these Japanese deer. They'll bow at you. Oh, you see, there you go. And, they'll bow at you so that you give them a biscuit. Those deer were not bowing. They were not bowing at all.
I think that the main problem in that occasion is the fact that probably you were given the treats before, and once they basically learn that they can get it from you, they're like the monkeys here. Basically, they're not gonna bow. They know they can get it without
those. It was just like actually like a little bit. They knew because those the deer kind of in the park, like way in, and those ones were near the little stores with like tiny little Japanese lady, who the deer super respected and kept like wide berth, of this little tiny Japanese lady. But I think that they were just like they just knew that we were tourists, and that was it. Because once we went into the temple area, the deer were just super chilled. They honestly they did the bowing. That's where we got like some bowing deer. The deer were bowing, and they most certainly were not, attacking or biting me in the tummy or whatever it is that they were doing.
Now, what we were talking about before also was the Pokemon, no? And one of the things that we did go to the Pokemon Cafe, so if your kids are into Pokemon, the Pokemon Cafe is definitely something to look out for. But apart from that, there's also the Pokemon stores. And there's a Pokemon Outbreak, the Pikachu Outbreak. So there's lots of events that might be very, very suitable for children. So you can actually just check out what's going on in the area, so that you can then like sort of organize to get to see these things. And the Pikachu Outbreak is definitely a fun event. It's in Yokohama. Did you enjoy that event, Sarah?
I absolutely loved it. Yep. It was packed with people.
And hot.
And so hot. Yeah, if I thought that climbing up Fushimi Inari was like hot, like pouring water over your children
It
hot,
was
this was
crazy.
just absolutely insane. It was like, and just people everywhere. But then on
Crazy
the other
hot.
hand, there were Pikachu everywhere. And you know what I loved? There were also Eevees everywhere. Like absolutely crawling with Pikachus and Eevees in all sorts of different like incarnations.
Yay! Eevees!
And different events, and they were incredible, absolutely incredible. And
How
I
do you
just
get
loved.
a Pikachu onto the Shinkansen train? Is it? Wait a minute. Is this a
It's
joke?
a joke.
Because it sounds like it's
a
going to be a
joke.
joke.
Obviously, it's going to be a joke.
You poke 'em on. You poke 'em on.
It's a good one.
It is good. It is.
It's a good one.
Wait. Because. It's funny. I've just put some giggling sounds there. It was pretty awesome. Those Pikachus, the parades.
Yeah, and they were all like dressed up. The inflatable Pikachus, like that you could pose next to, and they had like a Pikachu boat show, a light and water show. We didn't see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually a whole week thing. So this is happening throughout every single day of the week. It's not like you need to go on one day and you get a calendar and you can see.
Oh, because it was supposed to be the main Pokemon, Nathan. Jigglypuff was supposed to be the main Pokemon. Yeah. Honestly. His mic has gone again. Stop touching the cable. Oh look, they were giving away little fans as well. Little like Eevee and Pikachu fans. It was that hot. Really, it really was that hot. Yeah. He's trying to fix the mic again. I mean, obviously, if you were sensible, and by sensible I mean a proper Pokemon fan, like us, you'd go like pre-prepared, and you already had like the little ears. We had like the Pikachu ears already, and I think Neve had her Eevee ears and a tail as well. And we were super, in the Pikachu zone. But it was then so hot, and I think it was ridiculously hot. It was, and that's in fact where we turned around the corner just when we thought, we weren't going to be able to do this anymore. We were like just knackered out. We start seeing this show.
Oh yeah, my microphone's back.
And this show was essentially what once again saved the day.
It was, although I have to say that we did sit in the heat, in the sun,
waiting
to get a seat. By this point we were kind of exhausted, and we were like, let's sit down, I'll go and get some drinks and you guys hold the place. And like in very, very Japanese fashion, like the people around put their bags like in very neat piles.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yep, marking the territory.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this saved the day, but it was so hot, and there was a water that were throwing the Eevees. This was an Eevee show, not a Pikachu show, and the Eevees were basically throwing water at people. In fact, I can't remember the stats, but it was something like 2 tons of water or something.
Yeah, like 10 tons of water.
In
it was
15
just
minutes,
stupid.
something like that.
It was just stupid, and we were like, let's go for this, because and seriously, it was like like a pool. It was just like so much water.
We got so soaked that we ended up having to buy t-shirts and getting changed after.
Yeah. I mean,
Because-
like proper soaked.
Like, my underwear was soaked. Everything.
Yeah, I mean, like it was hot enough that you'd dry quickly, but we were so wet, and obviously we were tired and we wanted to head back. It was later on in
It was
in
loads
the
of fun.
afternoon. Yeah, but it was just incredible because we went from oh my god, yeah, come on, let's do this, let's watch this before we head back because we're so tired and we were like
Actually,
cranky.
this scene.
That one. It was just like they were just pouring all this water on us, and we were just going absolutely mental.
It was amazing.
Absolutely mental.
It
And
was
it's
so
like-
much fun.
And it was quite good because like we when we'd heard, they kind of repeated the show over and over, so we kind of saw the whole thing with 10 tons, and we knew that there'd be Pikachus and but then suddenly the Eevees come out. Oh my god. And we just completely lost it when the Eevees came out.
Yeah,
And,
Jota says the reason for the Eevee was most likely for the new game coming out.
yeah, of course.
They do something
yeah.
similar for most new games that come out, definitely. 100% definitely, because the
100%.
year before, when I went, it was Detective Pikachu.
All right, yeah.
It was all
yeah.
about detective, like literally everything was Detective Pikachu. So
Yeah. But so like they were, you know, they were incredible, these kind of Eevees.
and
Just
also
so chunky.
in terms of Pokemon, also if you like, now that we're on the subject of Pokemon, one of the things that is also pretty cool is the amount of Pokemon stores that there are, you know, in Tokyo. And
Yeah.
the stores themselves are sort of like a location to visit in their own right, in my opinion.
Mm.
I mean,
And they have their own kind of like limited edition Pikachu, like special Pikachu.
The poor people in the Eevees, I never thought about that. My god, it's so hot.
The poor people in the Eevees, hombre, yeah.
But,
My god. For sure they had air conditioning in that Eevee though, Jeremy.
probably.
For sure. You know?
But the whole the Pokemon stores it's worth going, because you can go. I mean, the only problem is that your kids are gonna want to buy things. There's no way that you're gonna go into that store and not purchase something.
Yep. No way. It's just that you need to kind of like embrace that. I mean, and just kind of like set a budget that kids know that they you know, they're not gonna be spending any more than that. Like if you want the real giant plushie on the first day, then perhaps, you know, you're only gonna get something really tiny, you know, 3 days later when we go to another Pokemon store. Yeah, because you can't be getting like huge plushies every day, or can you?
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know, but I think that London cannot compare to Japan. I don't know. I never went, but I think that James is a little bit jealous of looking at all the Pokemon material, the video. I have to say, it is a fun. It's a fun activity. I like to go to the Pokemon store, even though I'm gonna buy one thing, because it's constantly changing. Every single store has its exclusive items also, and every single store has its own sort of feeling. So you can go to multiple Pokemon stores, and you can buy different things, and it's constantly changing. Seriously, like I went in April one year, and then I went in July the same year, and it was like a different store because all the stock was completely different. And about shopping, there's 2 stores in Japan that are very famous, you know, and I think are kind of kid friendly. One of them is called Don Quixote.
Love Don Quixote.
And
Yeah.
Don Quixote is sort of like its own amusement park shopping sort of thing. It's like,
And
imagine
it's huge.
it's, well, it depends where you go. There's Mega Don Quixote, which is the one that we went to, and there's normal Don Quixote, which is also huge.
Yeah. I mean, like that one that we went to, was it near that crossing? Was it? Maybe.
I don't know. We went to.
Where did you go? It was
ones.
huge, like absolutely huge.
I think we
But-
went to the one in Asakusa.
Okay, we went to several.
Don Quixote is amazing, Jeremy. Definitely.
It's
Don Quixote.
like the bomb. How
In
about that?
fact, and the thing is that people think that it's all cheap stuff, and I do.
No
recommend
way.
That Don Quixote is the sort of place that you can go if you want to buy some souvenirs for your friends, for your family. Definitely, that's Tokyo Hands, by the way, in the background, not Don Quixote. But Don Quixote is the kind of place that you can go in, find whatever you need, souvenirs. It's loads of fun. You can get lost in there.
Yeah.
Find all sorts of crazy things, and I've actually bought my favorite pen in Don Quixote, where basically I just bought it because I had some extra yens and it was like the last day before I was going back home, and I bought a pile of like a pack of pens, and oh my god, seriously amazing, with a eraser pen sort of thing.
Yeah, but this is like I honestly, it's in Don Quixote. I mean, on the last day when I kind of like stocked up on all the things that I wanted to buy from Japan to bring home. So that's your flavored Kit Kats.
Oh yeah.
Where you remember I stocked up on all these flavored Kit Kats.
Tokyo
All
banana.
the Tokyo banana, but that we had to get from the posh store. But all the flavored Kit Kats and all the Neve wanted all the little erasers, and we went and we got like funky kind of like socks and like all sorts of things that, souvenirs and stuff like that, but also like just stuff like the Japanese grape sweeties, all of that. Anyway, I stocked up on loads of stuff. And
you still have some in the freezer.
I had some in the freezer.
Just a few days ago, she was showing me.
Just a few days ago.
Literally.
They keep really well. Pro tip. Like Tokyo bananas.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good pro tip, because Tokyo banana has a very short shelf life.
Yeah, I told you that, didn't I? Stick them in the freezer.
You did. And you put them in the freezer. And Jeremy says that Japan stationery is out of this world. Absolutely.
Honestly,
in Tokyo Hands, the stationery section is ridiculous. You can find anything, high quality stuff.
Yeah,
love it, totally love it.
And honestly, and even the little like kiddie things, they were just like Neve got all these like erasers, and they're like or rubbers as we call them in in England or in Gibraltar. But the erasers, these erasers, they are like puzzles. They're puzzles. So you actually like put them together, and then when you take them apart, you have no idea what they make. And then you might spend like 10 minutes putting them back together, which is an excellent use of time when you're 5 on a plane.
Actually, yeah, those erasers are amazing. The ones that you...
Yeah. Like they were like
tip
food stuff
for buying like a souvenir for children. Those erasers are useful, and then they can take them to school, and the schools are gonna be, hey, see you, James, we're gonna stop, we are gonna wrap things up shortly, but thank you very much for being in the stream with us. Definitely. But yeah, the erasers are top notch. You can buy them, you can give them away as souvenirs. They can be relatively cheap. You can buy a pack of like 5 or 6 different sushi erasers, and then open the pack and give them out individually, and they're good. They're really good. I don't think I have any around here though.
And but anyway, in so called Don Quixote, they also give you your tax back. You have to queue up. It takes ages. You have to make sure you have your passport with you, and they kind of like wrap up and they bundle up like anything that's like foodstuffs, because if you open it up or consume it while you're still in Japan, then you're not really supposed to do that. However, you get your tax back, so you get a little bit of your money back.
You can get, and now the tax in Japan has gone up to 20%, so you can
well
actually get
worth it.
20% back.
Yeah.
Or most of it anyway. So tax is definitely something in most stores. Actually, you can ask if they do the tax back, and it's quite easy. It's quite straightforward, because all you need to do is present your passport, and they literally deduct the percentage from the bill.
Yeah, it was incredible. So like, you know, I bought Neve a little suitcase, which was full of like Kit Kats and, you know, knickknacks and bits and pieces. And because I'd spent, you know, a significant amount of money, I queued up and I got my tax back, which was fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant.
Yodobashi Camera, which is a huge camera store, like electronic store in Japan, also does the tax. And on top of it, they have like a brand deal with Visa, where they give you a further 5% off. So if you buy something using a Visa card, and then on top of it you get the tax back, you're going to get 25% off. So that's another little tip that I've learned through the years. So also taking money out of cash machines in Japan, I think that if you use a MasterCard in a 7-Eleven, there's no fee. So if I remember right, so you can also check that out. Why do I got a can of soup? I have no idea. I don't even know where that soup is.
My god! Because it was corn soup.
Probably, no.
Yeah, it was corn soup.
But I don't remember eating that, so it must be in my kitchen somewhere.
You better look for it. It keeps well. And in terms of like spending money, when we were traveling around Tokyo, we were using the Suica cards. And Finley, we trotted Finley off to the station, and showing his passport, they were able to give him a special kiddie Suica card, with obviously a reduced rate that squeaked differently to ours because it was always
it did beep differently.
It beeped differently because like ours went beep beep and his went beep beep or squeaky squeaky. And it was just like really weird squeaky noise. And anyway, and it was also brilliant because he loved having his own cash, so he could actually go and get himself sweeties or get himself drinks at any point of the day.
A lot of the
from the machines from the vending
Japan,
machines,
you can pay with a like a special Suica card, like a transport card. So
it was and the vending machines literally everywhere in every single corner. And you want to be drinking. You really honestly do want to be drinking.
And there is chicken nuggets in Japan.
And there's chicken nuggets in Japan. Can I just tell you, in McDonald's, in Wendy's, at a lot of Wendy's, Burger King,
I
think, and maybe even in Moss Burger we had nuggets. It's a lot of nuggets out there to be had.
A lot of nuggets, and you know that children like nuggets.
A lot of nuggets. Yep, everything's fine. And actually, kids also eat quite well in those like family restaurants. Where I mean, the food was just amazing. I remember once ordering a plate for Neve, which she ate only some of, and it had a little bit of rice, a little bit of very mild curry.
Those family restaurants are.
Yeah, the veggies. It was nice. The food
and
was
cheap,
just amazing and cheap.
Super cheap.
That was the family restaurant that we went to in Kyoto was the one where she fell asleep at the table. It was just too much. I think it was just day 2 or something like that. No, but we were there.
It was very short. It was very close to the thing.
But the jet lag was real. It was real.
Family restaurants. In fact, Jeremy mentioned this the other day in the chat, or when we did the chat about going to family restaurants. And don't underestimate a good Japanese family restaurant, especially a little bit of a tip, because the Japanese are not really they are a culture of I would say of breakfast, but not in the way that we're used to it. They don't have the same sort of breakfast that we do. And I've been many times to family restaurants where I've bought myself a like American pancakes with maple syrup and bacon. But you have to sort of go to a family restaurant for that. You won't be able to find that in any like sort of normal Japanese, or perhaps not even in a hotel. So Japanese family restaurants, very easy to find.
Yep.
Very accessible and cheap.
Yeah. And also, if you're tired at the end of the day or whatever, and the kids, they've had a big, lunch because you've been to lunch or tea or whatever, because you've been to a themed restaurant or cafe during the day, like just pick up snacks from the 7-Eleven, because the 7-Eleven's got everything, everything that you might want to buy a kid.
This, literally, and for an adult, seriously, in the 7-Eleven they even sell shirts for men,
and underwear,
for salarymen, and underwear.
Again, we're talking about the underwear. New underwear, Muji underwear,
and masks. Maybe they've run out of masks now. What's happening? But
masks, but I bought what do you call it? An adapter, like with 2 USBs, an adapter and a cable. You can just anything, like pancakes, obviously the milk, the Hokkaido milk. Yum. What else did I buy there?
Have like a glass of milk before going to bed now. All this chat of milk.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the
about
same.
Do you think Hokkaido milk like freezes nicely? So next time you go over, you can bring some over.
The question
so you can have some Hokkaido milk.
Am I going over next time?
Well,
when. But anyway, I think it's been a really, really great stream. We've spoken about all sorts of things to do in Japan with kids. We've spoken about different things that happened, what we've enjoyed, different places to go. Just pretty much being quite a general chat. Thank you very much, Sarah, for joining me, joining us, joining the world, joining the internet, interwebs.
It's a pleasure.
It's been fun.
I think.
I don't think we've had as many technical issues this time. Nearly perfect.
Nearly.
And I think that for that... Yay! Don't forget to like the video. And don't forget that if you're new to the channel, you might want to subscribe. Hit that notification button. I've got a few streams coming up shortly. We've got hopefully Jeremy on Friday. We'll be meeting up. We'll be talking. I think it's going to be kind of general. I also have Nick who actually lives in Kyoto. We're going to be doing a stream hopefully in sometime in the next week, talking about general what it's like in Japan as a student, what it's like learning Japanese, being in Japan, and what's happening in the lockdown in Japan, because he's actually there right now in Kyoto as we speak. So it's been has been fun, and don't forget to stay safe. Don't forget to just stay safe, and comment below if you haven't already. On that note, bye. I'll actually let Sarah also wave you out. We can both say bye.
Bye.
Bye everyone.